Yep, recording, and it's
Yeah,
pinned
yeah,
on
it's
him.
there.
Perfect. All right, when you guys are ready.
Oh, Jesus!
So good?
Welcome back to another video of Pucks in Deep. It's a podcast, actually. I should probably say that. But
Yeah.
On this podcast, we got a very special guest for you guys. Senior forward and El Capitano, James, of the Umass Minutemen, Jake Gaudet, the currently on top of the Hockey East Umass Minutemen. Jake Gaudet, thank you for joining us today. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor.
Hey, pumped to have you on. Well, this is the second time around, but yeah, any shout outs you want to give? We're going to start, just getting them deep here. So this is the last word before we just start firing them at you.
All right. Shout outs. WCHA guys, anyone out there? Former UMass players. Matt Murray, former guest.
Oh, yeah.
The GOAT.
Stud.
Yeah. 1-0.
Yep, that's true. Yep.
1-0, Matt Murray.
Don't forget that one.
People forget. They do. But yeah, let's just talk about, you just came off your first opening weekend. After all the preparation, nothing really gets you prepared, for playing in front of no fans and just what that atmosphere is going to be like. What was it like for you going against UConn there?
It was less weird than you'd think, honestly. I feel like once you get out there, you're playing another team. It's a bit quiet, but just within kind of the game atmosphere, it wasn't as big of a deal as you'd probably imagine.
I bet. Okay. I like that. But, all things said and done, I told you I was going to get back to the stat sheet here.
Be gentle.
Okay. 0 blocks in 2 games. Walk me through your average. I'm going to get in that lane. I'm not going to get in that lane. What was that like this weekend?
Well, actually, Friday night, I blocked my line mate's 1T in the slot.
That counts.
I'll give you one. Stat guy missed that one.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so we'll take that one.
That's fair.
I might have even had 1 or 2 phantoms on Friday that might not have been counted. But yeah, no, just thanks for holding me accountable. I'll try and get those numbers up.
Jake, we hate to do it, but it's our job. It's our one job.
Well, it does sound like the stats guy could use a little bit of help too. So I'll punch in. I'll clock in a couple hours.
There you go.
Fill whatever lane
I'm
I
actually
can for
a
you.
Twitter ghost, so I don't know if you were live tweeting the blocks or not, but
we were not live tweet. Well, there was no blocks to live tweet was the problem.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I was ready. Just like Twitter fingers. About to get after it, but this week we got a lot with BC coming up here. You guys currently are on top of the Hockey East, but they're the champs last year. What's your preparation for that? Like this week, how you feeling going into that matchup here?
Yeah, feeling good. They're obviously a really good team. They always are, and they recruit really well. They have really high end prospects, so it'll be a pretty good game. I think I'm excited for our team as well, just to kind of see how we stack up once we get out there against them. It's always a challenge to play, and I feel like, as an older, maybe more physical team, it's always kind of a test to see where we're at with our systems and our strategy to kind of face off against a team like BC. Yeah,
Jake, in regards to that, I mean, you're a captain. You saw how your team played the first week. What, if anything, do you think you guys need to work on going into playing, what is it, the number 2 team in the country in BC?
Mm-hmm. I thought we did a lot of things well this weekend, especially starting kind of in such an odd season.
Yeah.
We got a lot of potential, I think. We got a lot of freshmen that are going to play big roles. So we did some good things. We also did some really bad things that we've learned from, especially Saturday night. Obviously we blew a 2-goal lead, which shouldn't happen in the third period. But hopefully, we got that over this Saturday night. We've made adjustments. So we're looking to get out there Friday and kind of hit the ground running.
Yeah, I think if you view it as a positive, I mean, every team's going to lose throughout the season. Why not get your first one out of the way now and you know what it feels like, go win a game?
I mean, it's a tie, too.
It's a tie, too.
Not an L. Not an L. He said
Explain, though. The end of the game was confusing to me. Why was the goal disallowed? Because I was still confused. We watched both games, and I was still confused at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I am as well. I think it's part of the new 3-on-3 rules. For some reason, they're policing. I think you have to change within a stick length of the bench.
That's
so ticky.
It was too many men, correct? And that was the call.
Yeah.
I think it was
allegedly.
It was called bad change, I think. I honestly don't even know. It was just a very chintzy way to kind of call back an overtime game. But it's just not something, too, I'm not even really aware of within the 3-on-3 rules. Like, I didn't even know that was some reason that it could be called back. Because by the time Colin Felix scored, the guy he changed with was obviously well off the bench. So it was strange. It was very strange to kind of have a goal called back, especially after scoring in overtime. But we know that now. So now we're going to be, we're going to have like 2 guys on the ice. We'll changes.
Just in case. Yeah.
That being said, too, like you guys still did play very well this weekend, and you showed why you guys are ranked so high. And I think this week you guys got them.
Yeah.
BC hasn't played a game. I think you guys got
an
advantage.
Upset already?
Well, yeah, because they played a game and they know what their strengths and weaknesses are, and BC doesn't yet. So
okay.
That's my opinion. I don't know.
We'll get to predictions already, but that's a bold one. I like it.
Well, I'm going it.
I'm getting at least one dub. I mean, if Matt Murray plays both games, dubs. Yeah. So,
no disrespect.
No disrespect. He's 1-0. He's undefeated. That's all I'm saying. But, let's talk about, like we were chatting before, that there's always like delays every day that you see in college hockey now. A team's getting postponed for a month, whatever it might be. What's that like? Because last week you guys actually were supposed to play Maine, end up playing UConn instead. Like, what's that like? You're like, right now, when we're recording this on Wednesday night, maybe you guys don't even end up playing BC or it's pushed to another day. Like, what is that? I know, knock on wood, it's not going to happen, but what's that kind of like for you guys? Like, just switching your game plan up from scratch?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just run of the mill for what this year's kind of looked like so far. I think Carvey and like the rest of our team, we do a pretty good job just going in every day. You kind of prepare for practice. You practice one day at a time. And then, Maine obviously getting switched wasn't the worst thing. We got out of like a 5-hour road trip, so UConn wasn't too bad.
Right. True.
But obviously things are very unpredictable, and you kind of it's almost week by week. So, we're playing BC, we're going to prepare for that, and then if things change, we'll deal with that then. Can't really control anything you can't control.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Just worry about the block shots and let the rest come to you kind of thing.
And you talk about preparation. I mean, let's for the we've talked to a bunch of other players during this offseason, but for you, what did the offseason look like for you to get ready for even last series to start the season? How was it different than past?
It was very different. I typically, like most college hockey players, you go home, you train in the gym, you skate with a skills coach, some other guys. So the first couple of months, I think when I was home, I managed to kind of finesse a squat bar and some weights and some heavy stuff just to bring up to my cottage. We got a property 2 hours north of Ottawa.
Cottage, let's
on the
go.
Ottawa River out in the woods. Nice. So I lived up there for a while, working out in the garage and fishing, doing stuff outside. So
squatting 400.
It was nice. Yeah, it was a blessing in disguise just to be able to spend time up there. And then once kind of mid-July to August hit, the rinks opened back up. I was able to start training with a trainer back home. So it almost kind of became more normal then.
Plus a lot of ice baths, I'm guessing, mixed in there because you like to get out in the lake.
When blocking shots all day just on his own.
Yeah, I mean, you got to patch those up somehow. Or let's talk about, you are repping the C this year. First 2 games under your belt with that, how many pucks did you make the freshmen pick up? And, what was that feeling like, just getting to boss everybody around the ice? Had to be just immaculate.
It was pretty special walking in, I think, Friday and finally seeing the C on the jersey.
In the stall? Oh, yeah.
A little bit. But
congrats on that, by the way. That's a huge honor. I mean.
Facts, yeah. Well deserved. We'll say it.
Thank you. No, so we're big here on sweeping the sheds, so nobody's too big to do the little things.
Right, absolutely.
They're picking up the pucks with the freshmen. So
let's go. Okay. He's a man of the people.
Love that.
Smart answers there.
But going off that, what was your advice to the freshmen coming in this season, especially during such a weird season with COVID hitting?
True.
They're walking in the locker room for the first time, and their eyes are big. They don't know what's going on. But what are you saying to the freshmen coming in?
Yeah, they're here, right?
Yeah.
The hardest part, I think, is to get to UMass. Once they're here, they're obviously good enough to play, and they're good enough to make an impact. So that's something we made sure they were aware of.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we've been lucky enough to practice as a full team for almost 3 months now. So, they're practicing against pretty big guys in the corner, battling a lot. We've been practicing really hard. So they're able to survive practice and make an impact. They're going to be able to get out there and make an impact in the game. So just to be confident in themselves, I think is kind of most of the feedback.
Absolutely.
Okay, I like that answer. Let's get back to just like kind of the history of your time there at UMass. Like when you first got there, I believe you said 5-win team. A lot changing, brand new coach and everything, and basically you've been there for the whole process. Now UMass is on top of the Hockey East, or one of the perennials every year. What's that transformation been like, where you got to see it basically grow from the ground up?
Mm-hmm. Yes, obviously a lot of hard work. We came in. like you said, team had 5 wins. So
Yeah.
this,
Lot
I
to
mean,
do.
Harvey's done a ton, just system wise. I think we had a lot of the pieces, and he's fantastic. Just X's and O's for game plans and stuff like that. We'll come into a game and have a very specific, forecheck. Not to give away too much, obviously,
No, right.
the secrets, but we have pretty specific tailored game plans, and they pretty much work. And
It's nice
we
when
set
that
up a
happens.
lot of culture. It's a bit of a buzzword, obviously, nowadays, but
Mhm.
the culture that we built here is pretty special. And I think it's a huge part of what's helped UMass kind of be successful. And then obviously, you have players like Kale and Mariel Ferraro and John Leonard that came in as freshmen with me
Mhm.
and since have moved on to the next level. And I think that kind of speaks to obviously their skill, but also the culture that we've built here, where it's kind of, you're changing the brand of UMass hockey. And it's something that's been special to be a part of, especially sophomore year. We obviously went to the Frozen Four and went on a run. You could kind of feel the UMass community getting excited about having a winning team on campus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Right.
and we ended up, we had sellout crowds. We had a lot of support behind us that year, and I think that's something that it's not easy. The year before, we didn't have that, but once you have it, it's something you really want to hold on to. You don't want to let it go.
Mhm.
I like that. There's one thing. So I'm a big stat sheet guy, as I think you know by now. I was excited to see this on the stat sheet for your first game. You did end up in the box for 2 minutes only,
I
but
love it.
which is great. We want everybody to at least check every box.
As
Block
long as
shots
there's
is
not
one.
a goal scored while you're in the box.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The team missed you clearly, but we had a game misconduct, at least one your first 2 seasons, and then that injury really costed you some time in the box last season. Could we, see another, just you roughing guys up, standing up for your team? You are wearing the C. There's a lot of pressure to do that this year. Could we see more of that possibly?
No 5 minutes.
All right.
We're gonna cut those out of the game.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
think.
That's fair. We gotta do that.
I'm just gonna go out and say last year too. It's just more discipline.
Yeah.
As I age
what it
more
was.
and more. Obviously, I'm a 24-year-old, which is hard to believe, playing college hockey still. We'll go with the wisdom. I think now I'm going to separate myself from the 5-minute majors, but it is difficult when you play a physical brand of hockey to sometimes walk a fine line.
True.
I agree with that. Like you said, you mentioned earlier the class you came in with McCarr, and you got your new coach. What was he, a year before you came in? Was Carvey there? And
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there for 1 year before I came in.
Right. So what is how has he upped your game? Would you say? What have you learned from him in your 3 years there?
Good question.
Yeah, just focusing on what makes me kind of an effective hockey player. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not going to be stick handling through 5 guys on the ice, but focusing on
like McCarr. Yeah.
Yeah. That guy had more penalty kill breakaways than I've ever seen in my life.
I just don't get how he did it. Like, how is that possible? I just don't know. I mean,
I would lose a face-off and Kale would somehow have the puck and have a breakaway. It was wild.
Just wheeling always.
But, that's why he's doing
focusing on being effective. I think being hard to play against, being physical, kind of moving fast with the puck and playing within the systems and being defensively responsible. I think that's kind of the things he's iterated me, and just being a good person outside of hockey as well.
Are you still in touch with those boys though that you came in with?
Yeah, pretty often.
That's good stuff. I mean, what are you most excited for this year here in your senior year as a captain? Would you say?
Well, just playing hockey was a huge obstacle. Obviously, we got that out of the way this weekend.
Yeah,
being able to play is a huge bonus. And then, we have good staff, and our athletic director is great. So I think we'll, hopefully be able to play hockey most of the season and get a lot of games in. But I think in general, just to go out on top on senior year, we kind of have some unfinished business on
yes, sir.
a national level, and we'd love to kind of get there and get some closure this year.
Get back to that Frozen Four, and like you said, you have experience. Do we want to touch more on that Frozen Four? Obviously, I'll just go back to that semifinal game versus Denver. You had an assist. Did you get credit for that assist, by the way, in the OT?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You would hope.
You would hope. So you cycle the puck back to the corner, it goes up there, and you see that goal go in. What was that feeling like in a sold-out crowd in the Frozen Four?
Oh, it was awesome. But also, that assist was a little bit of a phantom. I kind of Stuart chest too. I put
yeah,
her
you
in his
did.
feet.
They all look the same on the sheet.
It looks the same on the sheet. Like I said, yeah.
He's a really fun line mate to play with. He's super, super skilled, and you can put pucks in his feet and he'll make you look good and give someone else an apple. But that whole feeling, I remember coming around the net, kind of looking for a backdoor rebound and kind of watching Mark connect with the puck, and then watching the puck, and it just hit the back of the net. It was almost just
a laser. I mean, it was. And
place is going nuts.
Butchergraph's just announcing it. I mean, I can still hear it.
Yeah.
I had a bet place on the game. And it just buried, and I was just I studied harder than you guys probably did.
You're like Sino.
I
It was-
remember. I remember the goal going in. I remember being on top of a lot of people, and it was just chaos. We were going to the national championship, and it was crazy.
Yeah, I see I watched the video again today, and you're getting mauled going down the tunnel there, and the national championships, a day away.
Yeah. What?
How do you guys get back there this year? I mean, what do you guys have to do to get back to that point?
I think we're probably a more balanced team this year. I think, we don't have Kale McCarr. We don't have John
Right.
Leonard.
Right.
I think we're a deeper team than we've had in the past. I think we're going to have 4 lines that are really hard to play against. I think we'll have kind of an even scoring, scoring by committee as well this year. We can't rely on John Leonard to have a hat trick in the third or something like that.
Every
We're going
game.
to have to play as the full team.
Yeah.
A hattie
But I
in
think
the
that's
third.
also exciting to kind of test the full team where you're at. You need all the players functioning at all times on the ice, and it forces you to play to a higher standard than maybe relying on some other people to score.
I mean, just 4 lines deep. I mean, that's so many pucks if you think about it. Just ringing around the boards. Everybody's buying into the system. That's what you need. I mean, at the end of it. But let's take it back a little bit to your juniors there. You did play 3 years for the Kempville 73s. How did you think that prepared you for your time now? Just straight jumping into the Hockey East. Do you think you were ready day one on campus because of playing in the CCHL?
I think so. It's hard though too. I mean, obviously the CC, it's not a league like the USHL where you
Right.
see kind of college commits getting pumped out. So within that league, I think there's opportunity to develop, but it's something you almost have to seek yourself, right? So a lot of the USHL teams, guys have trainers and strength coaches. That's something that doesn't exist in the CCHL. It's a little underfunded. So, I was going to a trainer on my own. I was kind of skating outside of our regular practices and trying to get better. So I think it's a good league to develop, and it gives you a lot of opportunity. And the coaches that are out there, if you create a college player out of yourself, they'll find you. And I loved it because I didn't have to live with a billet. I lived at home for 3 years while I played there, which was great. And I made some really good friends. And we had a lot of guys that ended up going on to play college hockey. But I can't say enough good things about Kempville. I had a great time there.
You put up some serious stats too, right? And got to get, home cooked meals. I mean, you obviously probably fishing every day for you, it seems like.
Check the gram.
Yeah, let's touch on the gram. Like, have you fished since past weekend? Like, obviously COVID protocols, they want you guys to spread out. You're just like, all right, I'll go, reel in some 70-pound hogs then, just kill some time.
Yeah. I actually haven't been fishing as much as I'd like this fall. I bought a compound bow in April. So I've been out a lot of this fall bow hunting. I was actually face to face with a turkey that got away today. But I was really trying to come home to the boys with a turkey in hand for Thanksgiving.
That would have been so gritty.
Would
that have ended up on the gram, I hope?
I think so, yeah. Obviously, hunting's a little of a hot button topic, but I think that turkey would have been on there.
Yeah.
That's how you earn the C. You get a turkey for the boys. I mean,
right. Hot button topic if, you're in the OHL and you're not allowed hitting, just something soft.
But rip the O there.
Otherwise, or the Ivy League, we'll stop there.
Jeez, let him go.
It's getting a little touchy, but
let's talk about there is adversity right there. What's the toughest thing you've been through in your career? Whether it's in your second grade or to now, what's the toughest thing you've had to make it through? In your hockey career.
That's a good question. Obviously, I came out of the CCHL. I was uncommitted going into my 20-year-old year.
Mm-hmm.
I think when I signed my player card at 18 too, I was told I'd play probably half the games. I ended up playing every game that year, kind of worked through it. 20-year-old year I came in, it was supposed to be a big year. I think 7 games in, I actually broke my fibula. I had a high ankle sprain. I had to get surgery. Was told I'd miss 6 months, almost the whole year. I ended up, I recovered really well. I had some great therapists, a great surgeon, a lot of other people. I think I played after a little less than 4 months. I ended up committing to Umass with a broken ankle, which was great. Took a little bit of the stress out.
Yeah.
But just having to work through that and kind of get so close to getting a college commitment and then break an ankle and then have to kind of rehab. And, obviously with juniors, that's my last year. So it was stressful to work through that, but to come out on the other side and obviously end up at a school like Umass and still have that offer on the table. Something I'm really grateful for. And
then to go to the Frozen Four. I mean, on top of that. It's something probably most people will never imagine. Just to play college hockey is a dream, obviously, but then to go to the Frozen Four.
Wouldn't be bad.
No. Is that good?
I think that's all right. Plus 25. So just good things happening in front of you. I mean, eating pucks, I'm assuming. We can't see the stat sheet from that year, unfortunately. They didn't record the blocks, but you have to assume you ate a good amount, I would say.
Yeah, a lot of net front screens that year. A lot of pluses.
Ooh, and a lot of pucks in deep, obviously. I mean,
that's how that all starts.
How often do you guys practice that? Getting pucks in deep, just raining around.
It's usually the first drill, isn't it? When you get out on the ice.
A couple hours every day,
That's your ice time, right?
Pile of pucks on the red line. We just practice chipping them in.
You wonder why they're always on top of the Hockey East. I mean, that's
the rank tie for.
You're not supposed to give away secrets, but I appreciate it.
We just did right there. That's advice we give to everyone though who comes on the pod.
Yeah, we try to help their game out. So obviously yours.
Poor Murray has to go behind the net and try to stop him.
That's tough.
Yeah, 10,000 hours to master anything. We're trying to get on top of that.
Smart.
That's true.
Yeah, I like that. But what would you say to, a young prospect out there who's currently in juniors, not getting any looks? Like, what should their mentality be like to get to the next level and, have the success that you've had?
Yeah, I think you got to take ownership of your own game. Obviously, if you're unhappy with how much you're playing, whatnot's going on, you can complain about the coach all you want, but at some point you got to figure out how to make yourself more effective. And once you develop your own game or you get to a level where you think you're capable of playing college hockey, if you're not getting the looks you want, I think you got to almost take it into your own hands. I think my 19-year-old year, I emailed a few coaches. I did a little research on who had empty spots on centers and whatnot, and just sent out some cold emails trying to get on the phone with the coach or just make sure that, if it's so finite, especially within recruiting. There's a lot of options. Coaches can look at any league. So if you can find an edge, even to give yourself an extra look, why not do it, right?
Absolutely.
That's a good
piece of advice.
Sending out emails.
That's something we haven't got before from a player. And cold emails, just talk about getting pucks in deep. That's maybe the way to do it. Just get your. Did you send videos to those coaches, or are you just sending like a paragraph saying, hey, like, this is where I'm playing, blah, blah, blah.
Just a bruise, like, ate
just
that one last night.
No bruise pictures, no. Just kind of a very brief. Obviously, they're not going to read like a 2,000-word essay about yourself, right? But just a quick synopsis of where you play, your stats, and what you think makes you effective.
Hey, then seeing just your name is better than nothing. Like, And,
exactly. Then they'll look it up. There. It's their job to find the block shots, and you go from there. So that's smart. Keep it short and simple. Or, let's touch on a person who has mastered the art of getting pucks in deep, because we had him on the pod. We taught him everything we know. Mm-hmm. What has Matt Murray said to prepare you for the high stakes that
He's
you
not
see
really dumping pucks
in front of
deep,
yourself? Well, he handles them. He can play it behind the net. Don't sell him short. How has he gotten you prepared to succeed the way you are?
We talked about it last time. He just took me out back and hit me a few times with a shovel, just to toughen me up, make sure I was ready for these hot button topics.
I mean, you seem to have recovered from that. So it wasn't a twice shovel thing. You're like, all right, I got to go back on the pod, break that puppy out again. Okay, it was a one-time thing.
It was a one-time.
That was smart. Okay, I like that. Or, one thing we haven't touched on that we did talk on last time, what do you think, having such a young coach in Greg Carville, obviously he's turned the program around, how do you think he helps you guys, not only like behind the bench, but just, game preparation? I think you talked a little bit of X's and O's, but like, how is he as a coach?
Compared to an older coach.
Yeah, compared to, what most college teams have today.
He's great. He's really intense. I won't lie to you. He's intense. He expects you to be at your best every day. And if you're not, he'll let you know, which sometimes is difficult. But, I didn't come here to be comfortable. I came here to be kind of pushed and challenged and to grow as a person and a player.
Absolutely.
And that's what he does every day. He makes sure you're at your best. And if you're not, he'll tell you. And as a team, he has a very good gauge on, where our team's at. Whether, we need a day off or if we need to be pushed even harder. And usually it's the latter. But he's very effective in making us a good team and getting a good use out of all the pieces that we have.
Obviously, you guys have created now a winning culture at UMass. And like you said, you had sellout crowds, but what else is an attraction? If you were to recruit a player, what's an attraction to UMass's facilities, the campus? Why UMass? Why the Minutemen?
Yeah, we got great facilities now. When I was there, we didn't necessarily, we had a gym, we had some other things going on, but everything's been renovated since we went on a run sophomore year, which is great. So the facilities are top notch.
Yeah.
Got a really good business program. A lot of the guys are in, which is attractive. I think, not everyone's going to get to go to the NHL, so why not have a good business degree? Number one, dining. Can't beat that, right? You're going to eat all year long, especially as a hockey player. Why not eat good food?
Exactly.
I agree.
Yeah, and then town Amherst, college town. It's really homey.
Yeah.
Fun to be around.
College.
Lots of fish, lots of trout nearby, lots of animals. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Straight
what
into
more
the
could
fish.
you want, right?
I mean, Sign me up.
He's answering the interesting questions right now,
Yeah.
giving some interesting facts. Do we go speed round right here?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we touch on it. So we'll throw in the animations later and everything, but I just kind of want to start firing right away.
Mhm.
Obviously, we're behind the 8 ball on this one, but over under 20 blocks. Tough start so far. Could we get there this season? What do we think?
I think so. What happens with COVID though? Like, does it change if games get canceled?
That's true. Yeah, we will. That's why you kind of got to make hay.
You got to appeal
while
the
sun
games.
is
You got to make
shining.
sure they're rescheduled.
Yeah.
First of all,
Those-
that's on you.
So
Just kidding.
depending if the season, we're not even going to touch on bad vibes,
Yeah.
but like if a lot of it gets cut out, we could adjust it. But currently, 2 games down, I'm keeping that mark at 20. I'm thinking that's fair, and I might even
let's
review
let's
the
rate it
tape.
down to 15. We saw they peppered UConn. You guys buried 3 at the end of the
No,
game.
I'm gonna put that on me.
I
I
got
got
offense's own time.
It sounds like the stat guy missed a couple. I'm gonna review the tape for you. Maybe we find a couple,
Yeah.
empty ballots. We're gonna count every legal block, and we'll see where it stacks up at the end of the day. But over under 20. What should I mash?
I think we like it. I take
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I think if you review the tape, you'd see 2 block shots Friday night. So
See?
I think
Review
we're
the tape.
still well on pace for that.
I like that. All right. See, he wants that 20 mark. We even said 30 last time.
That's fair.
I think. But
Yeah, let's just dial it
we'll
down.
keep
a
it
bit.
20. We'll keep
Let's
it
go
20 for now.
about in the locker room. Who are you walking in? You can't wait to see who's the funniest guy on the team.
Oh, all the boys. We got a lot of really funny guys.
It's a lot of characters, huh?
Got to go
All
with the
the
guys I've been here for 4 years with. So
Yeah. Oh, of course.
George Mika. It's
Mhm.
always fun seeing him. Matt
Georgie.
Murray, Bill Lagnov, Oliver Chow. Those are all the seniors. And then outside of that, I got to go with Mark Del Gaizo, Bobby Trevino. There's really not a guy in the locker room I would be excited to see. That's a pretty.
Look at that.
I don't
Team
even
Cam.
know.
Okay, but what about a guy?
But-
What about a guy who's playlist in the locker room who has the aux that you're not excited to hear? Like who?
I'm gonna throw him under the bus here. Josh Lopina, freshman guy, loves 21 Savage. I'm more of a classic rock guy.
That's fair. Yeah,
I'll listen to it, but
Nothing but
it's just
21.
really not for me.
that's fair. That's fair.
Okay. I like
There
that.
he goes. Just threw him right under the bus.
Right. You said classic rock. What's a song that's going to get you pumped out coming out of the tunnel, just ready to win those face-offs?
Easy answer. Kickstart My Heart. Our sophomore year, that was our walkout song. There's nothing better than hearing that song going. You just get the electric guitar out
I like
and
that.
just start cranking it with the boys.
Just get her going.
You said sophomore year, so they stopped? They're not doing that this year? That could be something. I mean, you need to bring the energy
You're the captain,
to
man.
the game. Yeah.
You get the final say.
You're making the decision.
Yeah, you can't beat a dead horse too, though. You
That's
gotta
true.
have,
That's
you gotta
true.
shake it up. You gotta have a new song for every year.
What about? Sorry to cut you off. I just want to go to the next question
Yeah,
quick.
whoa.
Pre-game meal, though. I mean, you're built like a brick shit house here. What are you eating before the game? Because I need to know. I'm gonna.
Turkey.
Yeah,
Turkey.
all of it. Yeah. No, I'm a big rice and chicken guy. Obviously, some pasta. Got to throw a little salad in there. Get your veggies, but
There you go.
A few greens. Okay.
Few greens.
I like that. Sorry, we keep cutting you off, but let's go. Best guy on the team. We're like, yeah, that guy's he's ready to
He's
tear.
walking
He's
into the
gonna eat
rink.
some pucks.
He's
yeah,
gonna hattie tonight.
for sure.
Yeah.
well, maybe a shutout. Murr's pretty hot.
Okay.
He's got good style going on. George Mika is always rocking designer. He might work on Wall Street one day, so he looks sharp all the time. Mark Del Gaizo too, pretty good looking dude. Those are my top 3, I think.
Okay. And I think we're already talking to him, but besides yourself, who would you say is like, yeah, that guy gets the most pucks deep for sure on the team?
Good question.
Yeah, that's what we want to know.
Yeah, really good question. Colby Figuera, he's a sleeper, but he, our penalty kill squad, we call him the plumbers. He's probably the captain, just super gritty, dumps pucks, blocks shots, does whatever the team needs. So he's on that list for sure.
I love it.
I'm liking the sound. It sounds like he's got a bright future ahead
He
of him.
might have a
too.
spot on pucks and
Kobe,
deep.
yeah.
Who knows?
He'd be a great addition.
Okay. All right. You gave him his blessing.
That's interesting.
You're
That's
going to have to
it.
hit him with the shovel. But
That's it for speed round right there. Again, we got a couple minutes left here, but we'd like to focus on this weekend versus BC.
Right.
What do we expect from the Minutemen? What are you, don't give away your game plan or anything, but what can we expect from the Minutemen?
Okay.
I think we're bringing our standard, what we normally bring. I think we'll play hard.
Mhm.
I think, BC's, I don't think they're returning as many D as usual. They have some freshman D in, so hopefully play some physical forecheck, be hard to play against, make it hard on their defense. But I think it'll be a good game. Obviously, they're really skilled. You give especially that team, you give them chances, it'll be in the back of our net.
Stay out of the box, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, only
very
if
skilled.
you have to take a 2 minute.
I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll we got to make sure we play to our standard, limit our turnovers, limit our penalties, which was an issue Saturday.
Yeah.
And I think that'll hopefully lead to some success.
Keep the chirps flowing though. Do you chirp at all on the ice? Are you a talker or no? Just lead by example.
Not a lot.
Okay.
This actually happened. Good story. I think against UNH, I got cross-checked one game. Guy got a penalty. Like 2 months later, I'm out there against them, and I go to just yell something, and I just like almost had a stroke. I'm like, just nothing came out, and the guy turned around and looked me dead in the eyes. I was like, oh fuck, I got nothing to say to this guy. So yeah, I don't really do it. And then like these BC kids, like half of them are drafted and they're like 18.
Right.
I feel like they just turn around and be like, dude, you're 24. I don't know if I'd have anything to say to that, you know?
Hey man, you've been to the Frozen Four and they haven't. So
yeah. Just point to the sea.
That's true.
Point to the sea.
Point to the sea.
Let the hitting do the talking.
Yeah, put the puck in the back of the net, win the game. That's it. You know? So
yeah, you get pucks in deep. Like what are they gonna say?
Nothing.
Yeah, they won't have the puck.
Can't say, but like you said, they do have a good freshman class coming in, and yeah, we'll see. I'm excited to watch this week. You guys look, very, very good first weekend. Minus the tie there, but it's still look.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, big ECH rankings on anything could change up right now. I think we got you guys like 6 or 7. You could bump all the way up to that 2 spot. I don't know. People are talking.
You guys have 2 more guys on our podcast than they have, so.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't really mess with those Eagles.
Yeah, we might be a little biased. Yeah.
I would put that on the whiteboard in the locker room this weekend.
I think so. You have the ECH blessing. We do play favorites. We'd like to say that. And I mean, we're all Gaudet, all Murray, all Minutemen all the time right now.
Yeah.
Especially those blocks start getting up there. I might start waving around a banner or something. So, yeah.
One last question. Actually, it's more of a request, but we are, we got a studio. We got a set up here. We are looking for a jersey, whether it's old or not, from the Minutemen. Could you help us out there? Just maybe even give us the right person to contact.
Do you do overnight shipping?
Yeah. Doesn't have to be your jersey, just an old jersey for the Minutemen. We need something in the stall to represent the Umass squad there, and why not,
We don't want to get a BC one.
You're missing a lot of maroon behind you.
We got some maroon, but it's not the right maroon, and we're going with what we got right now, and
it's
missing
gritty.
some Minutemen.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Okay. We have the greatest equipment guy of all time.
Hey, I'm a former equipment guy myself. We'll give the jersey back. We just need to rep the good guys. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we got a UNH one right as you told that UNH story, or it's on that side. So
it's pretty ugly.
I hate to see it.
We can replace that though. So
yeah, it's tough. We're trying to get better here.
Yeah, we'll swap those 2 out. That's perfect.
There we go. Right after a sweep of the BC Eagles this weekend. It's pretty.
Whoa.
Yeah, we're already calling.
Why not
it,
roll with it?
Yeah, make us look good. That'd be awesome. But thank you again so much for doing this with us, Jake. Your first podcast where you get to see everybody's face.
Yeah. Congrats on being it. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for being patient with me. It's all in all a great process here, and it's a long time coming for us, and it's 3 years in the making. So you're the first guest, and we appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Good luck this weekend.
Yeah. Blocks and pucks.
Thank you.
Blocks and pucks.
Man.
Have a good one, brother.
So yeah, a lot of stuff has happened since we last got on the pod here, like 3 weeks,
almost,
just about.
Yeah.
I mean, first 2 weeks of hockey.
So many pucks in deep.
We missed a lot of those block shots. We have facial hair now.
It's Movember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little caterpillar action. People are saying we got a whole studio. The boys are here. Live audience.
First show.
Yeah.
I mean,
big little noise,
coming.
boys. Prove I'm not. All right, I'm not lying.
It's definitely a good feeling. A long time coming. I started 3 years ago, and here we are now with the studio. And a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of pucks in deep, like we said.
The lockers. I mean, this is looking nice.
Yeah, as
boys.
you see, we got a couple of jerseys here. Maybe a lot that you guys aren't fans of, but definitely we're trying to get some in here.
Right. So teams got to send us some.
Yeah.
If you are Niagara for one,
that should be overnight.
Exactly. And you don't see your sweater back here. That's not our fault.
I think we got the UMass set up there with
UMass. We need a Minutemen. I mean, there's so many Anchorage. I mean, God bless their souls. We want a Seawolf back here.
Peace, yeah.
There's so many teams that could be behind us, especially we have a guest on.
Yeah,
a specific number 10 Sofo prime. We want that. But yeah, so studio is still a work in progress, but obviously a lot better than your basement, which is what we were coming out of for the first 45.
Yep.
So yeah, we're
45, man. Just
45
basement.
deep ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so we're
during COVID.
We're climbing.
During COVID, mind you.
People forget.
We're taking COVID tests going to my own house, so it's
we've probably had it. I don't know.
Who knows? But we still got pucks in deep. We're still here. Indeed. Hockey season's going. We're thankful for that on Thanksgiving. I mean,
we could be the Ivy League. We could be shut down.
Yeah, we could be soft. So, but we're not.
We're not.
And
we get pucks deep.
Let's talk about that, though. First of all, just our our sympathy to all the players, all the teams out there that lost, especially Cornell. The team that was ranked number 2 going into the season has lost their season because of a soft commissioner of the Ivy League. So
a lot of high prospects. Harvard had, Eberzizi just cut short. Dartmouth, Drew O'Connor. There's guys up and down the list that were NHL prospects that are not going to be able to play, or they have to figure out go to Europe. So, and you read it every single day. There's somebody getting postponed, like Northern Michigan set back till I think past January or past Christmas.
That's
they can't
not
play.
good for the rest of the hockey because now Griff's, we're looking at 3 misconducts this year. It's probably at 10 now.
Right.
And it's just not good.
It's just not going to happen. So, there's been a lot of teams that have dropped out since our last pod. Anchorage, RPI, Union. RIT came back since our last pod.
Yeah, they pulled the Brett Favre, quit,
That's big.
came back. Here they are. They got a game this weekend.
Who are they playing?
You had to put me on the spot like that.
I was like, oh, you got me excited.
Yeah, no.
RIT hockey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all in. Oh, yeah. Clarkson.
Oof. That's
all right, we'll stop talking about that one. But Clarkson's back. They would they sweep Colgate or they only play one?
They just played one. Now Colgate's done for.
Colgate was like, we're gonna stick to toothpaste. We're out of here.
Yeah.
They
got the win and they dropped it. You know.
So they're done. Michigan has been the big story from a lot of Big Ten games playing. Obviously, Michigan, Badgers, Gophers, all teams that are on the up and up in the ECH rankings, and then Penn State is they don't want to be talked about as much, but
no disrespect to the guys in net there, but some improvement.
Yeah,
might be a good idea.
It's tough. Well, also Notre Dame didn't have the best opening series outside of our boy looked pretty good. Little Steezer.
Oh yeah.
Alex Steves.
Nasty play, the backhand toe to the pad pass to the goal.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks removed.
Our other boy rides. He buried 2 the first weekend.
That's true.
He's definitely looked good.
People are talking about him for Hobie.
Yeah. Okay. But no, all in all, I think out of the Big Ten, let's just go Big Ten in general. Minnesota and Michigan have looked tough to beat. I'll say it's tough to beat.
Well,
they might lose one game this year. And
Wisconsin almost took Michigan.
Yeah, they're both close games there, and. But I think, Cole's going now, as we predicted after that 1 goal last night, 2 nights ago, and then last night at Hattie.
Yeah. Is that good?
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. Watch out for Caulfield and those. If Caulfield and good going, they lost a lot of people. They're maybe weaker on paper this year, but all in all, they look 10 times better, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Obviously, Drew.
They're playing defense.
I think it's the Tendy.
True.
He's got the stash and a
Robbie, stash all the time.
Yeah,
baby.
he's all stash team, and
we love that.
That's going to be posted this weekend. But all in all, some very good play minus. No fans this year.
No fans and a lot of postponements.
A lot of postponements, but sounds being pumped into the arena. The guys still have, they have the go factor, and
they got to bring their own energy.
I think Michigan, we watched basically all the games so far. Michigan and Gophers, not to be biased, but
that's just what we've seen. Yeah,
it's just the Gophers
1 and 2
really
for
hard.
Who's played
They
so
play on the 8th, December 8th. That's going to be a good series. So 8th and 9th there.
8th and 9th?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's soon.
Yeah, that's coming up. And
it's a Big Ten, so it's not getting
and other than that, out of conference, we had LIU play their first Division I game, and they come out with an OT win. Huntsville transferred Berries in OT. That had to feel good.
Shout out.
Almost lost the program in Huntsville, then jumped to the Sharks. The Sharks caught him there in the ocean action. And just tucks at OT.
Plus Metcalf for the W. 1 star.
Big shout out to our former podcast guest, that guy was transferred to Tech, then whatever happened there, we're not going to explain that.
Yeah.
Went to LIU, gets a W. That had to feel good. I texted him after the game. He's like, yeah.
Those pads, fresh pads, maybe that's why he did it.
Those J's too.
Yeah.
Oh, just ice.
I want the J's. The breezers and helmets could use a little, they don't mesh as well with me.
And it took them a weekend to follow us after the first week of the season, but they finally, the Sharks gave us the follow finally, and that's.
They're like, oh, these guys.
They lost the game, and all right, we need just a little bump, boom.
Right.
Now watch out for them next week.
They're like, oh, they have over 20,000 followers. Maybe
that might be a good idea. Yeah. These guys get pucks in deep every day. What are we missing in our
interesting
forte? Yeah.
Peculiar. Ever so peculiar from these Sharks. But they're heating up. Chargers are in every game that we've seen them play. We've been very happy to watch Huntsville hockey. Competitive stuff.
He came out of the locker room and I had to go to my knees. I was just broken.
This guy doesn't even know it's COVID. He just it's all flowing. Nothing has held him back in this pandemic because the moose, whatever he's got rocking in there, it's shining.
It's just grease.
Yeah,
it's just pure grease with an A on the sweater. They had to give it to him.
A side of grit.
And and then we got a Minnesota boy.
Who dat?
Neudecker. On Huntsville there, got the C this year and buried both games. He's got 2 goals right now, so
they're looking good.
I think I butchered his name right there, but it's still 2 goals.
I couldn't really understand what you said, but I was like, yes.
Yeah. So
him
number 7 Huntsville Chargers. You can't miss them.
You cannot. Robert
Flohockey TV's got him. For all you fans, stop DMing us. Just go to Flohockey TV. They got all
Facts.
the games. Atlantic.
They're going
Big
to treat you
Ten,
real nice.
WCHA, they got it. So
Plus, we should say Robert Morris did sweep them. Robert Morris looked good. They can score.
they did. They looked slow the first game.
But they got, W's are W's.
W's are W's, but
Third
I thought
period team.
Huntsville for
We
having
need
just a
those.
random roster. That's like when you do a random draft in Shell.
Ooh,
It's
yeah.
just a
You don't
bunch
know
of
who you're
random
going to
guys.
get.
Just all you can say is pucks and deep, and they went out there and still battled both games. We're in both games, so
Dude,
liked him both
our
games.
boy Isle looked good too.
Oh,
I'll say
they
it.
look promising. Some hits, some played well. I mean,
Laying the wood out there.
he got tested. I'll say that because RMU was in that zone a lot. So
Yeah.
look
Facts.
good out there though. To
The
say
bubble?
least. And
Mm.
yeah, the bubble is definitely
Clean.
good look. The Dreads coming out, just
Yeah.
I think they got new jerseys too. They got a little Warriors.
They're looking fresh.
Yeah, they look fresh this weekend. But
So Huntsville's back. A lot of college hockey be played. Should we jump into the slate that we got here?
are we going this weekend?
This weekend, because we got no games as we're recording it tonight. Is there a game Thursday?
No,
think so.
tomorrow's Thanksgiving. There's no
Oh,
game.
yeah,
There
you're
should be.
right.
That'd be very pucks and deep of them. But
Yeah, we'll be playing
yeah.
some Chell if you guys want to join us.
Talk about this weekend. What do we got coming up here?
Well, I'm very glad you asked that. So we do have some postponements. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Army. I think Trevin might actually go out there and just start firing, bazookas at people because he
Yeah.
is
He's pissed.
not having a good time.
No, he's pissed. I mean, him and a lot of teams. Like you said, the Ivy League is canceled. The Anchorage is canceled.
Northern Michigan, even. I mean, the
They've delayed.
Dubchaw's getting less gritty. I mean, not canceled yet, but delay is
but
not.
as far as
not good.
cancellations, like you said, we mentioned earlier, a bunch of
Quinnipiac.
teams. Quinnipiac still, they're just delayed.
Delayed.
Yep. But no, it's definitely RPI got canceled their season. And there's just been a ton.
I mean, we do have a little Air
It's just-
Force AIC action.
We do. We
Is
do
that
have that.
intriguing?
That's still.
Is that something you might be interested in,
I'm
James?
very interested in that.
All right,
Frank
there we
just
go.
giving it to the refs on the bench. You
I
can't
want
win
it. I want it all. Who we got in that?
I'm gonna have to go AIC still.
Oh my God! Give me
I
Frank the Tank. all
texted
day.
Hugo. I texted Hugo tonight, and he's got the boys ready. He's not. On
He's
the
not
team
even
anymore.
playing. What
Doesn't matter. He's got the boys ready. You think that guy?
From Germany?
Yeah.
Okay, he's FaceTiming.
The German music is still bumping in the locker room. They're ready to go.
That's facts. So we got a lot of Atlantic action, like we said with Air Force AIC, Holy Crosses versus Bentley, and then to finish it off, Canisius at Robert Morris. A lot of tilts there.
A lot of tilts.
So you already picked AIC. I got Air Force, Holy Cross, Bentley. I'm gonna say Holy Cross.
I'm gonna go Bentley, but
I don't know. You never know. I mean, we haven't
Doesn't
seen
matter.
Bentley play yet. Okay. Well, Robert Morris versus Canisius.
Go Rob Morris.
One. we going?
Just because they got 2 wins under the belt.
Yeah.
I'll go split there though.
I'm gonna say split there too. And then we got Big Ten Notre Dame at Michigan.
That's just Friday night. But yes, I'm gonna go. What are
Yeah.
you going for the series though?
Oh, okay, yeah, Michigan. For sure.
I'm gonna go split. I think Notre Dame.
Really?
They don't
Gets
have a
on the
win.
board?
Yeah, they need to
Yeah,
win.
that or Jeff Jackson's
You
gonna
think
actually
Steve's-
kill somebody behind
That's
the
true.
bench.
That's
So
true.
that's probably a fair call.
But as far as the Big Ten, the rest of the week we do have Michigan State, Ohio State this week on Saturday, Sunday. What do you got there?
Give me Michigan State. Tendy's hot.
Both?
Don't run.
You
Yeah,
don't
don't run into a hot
Oh.
Tendy. I like Ohio State looked a little flat to me versus the Ghosts. Not a whole. I mean, they couldn't get on the board. Obviously,
They didn't,
You're
you
running
know.
into LaFontaine.
They played good defense though.
Muzzy.
And,
Yeah, they're solid. I think it's gonna be a good series. Don't get me wrong.
I'm gonna-
Probably a split, but if I had
I'm
to
gonna
pick
go
a
split.
team, if it's gonna be, I'm gonna say they get a win and an OT loss.
okay.
So moving on from the Big Ten, also another team that we left out just because they're non-conference. Arizona State at Wisconsin.
Mhm.
If Johnny Hockey plays there, or not Johnny Hockey, but
Yeah, it's still
Jay
Walks,
Walks.
they
Jesus
definitely missed him
Walks.
last series versus Michigan State, and it was a 1-goal game. They could have used him regardless, and maybe you got a win out of it because they played
Right.
very well. So I don't know. I'm still thinking Wisconsin's hot though. They're at home again. They've played multiple games in that arena now.
Oh, I'm taking Wisconsin. I'm
going
not.
sweep. I'm going sweep.
If Johnny plays, I'll give him a split just because I think he's gonna
I'm
be
just not
hungry as
doing
all
it.
hell.
I'm just not doing it.
Okay.
Caulfield stepped it up like I called. He's gonna
Yeah.
sweep him, and you got Ryder Weissbach, Holloway there.
They're definitely
There's-
gonna be favored both games.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
if that stash stays in net, it's gonna be tough.
I feel
to
like
beat
Johnny can get a stash going. People forget that.
them.
So we'll have to see if Johnny plays.
Robbie's
maybe.
stash is so mean. And it did so well for us on the ground.
The boys really showed up.
Yeah.
So we respect you.
And if the flow stays on Granado, what are you gonna do? I mean, he's got the meanest lady on the team, and he's.
I feel like
the
it's
coach.
dripping during the game too.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be just an intern. That's his job with a bucket, just following him around, because that thing is just oiled up, ready to go. So yeah, he's ready to play. Badgers are ready to play. I'm changing my. I don't care if Johnny plays. He's gonna light it up if he does.
We're gonna go sweep with
Bad
the badge.
sweep.
Or
Bad
going
sweep.
Gotta
You
really
convinced
favor
me.
the badge.
You convinced me. What else we got? We got Maine UConn.
Yeah. What do you
We're
got there?
assuming that's happening. I'm done checking for these
Carey Six they're
postponements.
playing, so we're going.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
You made
Split.
posted multiple times this week.
I'm gonna go split.
I go split too. I can't give either team a sweep because either way we're
I'll
gonna
give
get
UConn
Pat
the
Shea,
W.
even though he's not there anymore. Yeah,
OT loss or whatever.
I'm just
so
going both wins in regulation.
Okay,
That's my
that's
move.
what we root for.
We do have a rematch though. We're gonna jump out of the Big Ten now.
Hit me with it.
Are you ready for it? It's the Beavs at Mankato again in the WCHA.
Did that one get postponed though, or no?
No, we're still good to go. It's
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's postponed.
Yeah, I was.
So we do got another conference game. We're going to the WCHA.
Who is it?
Beavs and Mankato are postponed this week.
Hate to see it.
Cato didn't want any part of the Beavs after beating them 5. They just handed them
Yeah,
their butts there. But the Beavs are coming back.
it's the hardest thing to beat.
The Beavs are coming back.
Times.
They wanted to the next night, but they couldn't because a pandemic's going on. But then the next week, still canceled because a pandemic's going on.
Yeah.
So Beavs still can't get back at them. They just got to sit with that one bad loss.
They're going to keep building up that dam until something just collapses.
Yeah. But we still do got another game. And shout out to Mitz, first of all, for the first weekend performance. He got a shutty the first night in a tie. Good? Yeah, and then got the win, gave 1 goal the next night after Ashton's
playing out of his mind
goal. But Mitz, our guy, came on the pod. We predicted this earlier. He's going to have a season and a half.
Well, that's what happens. Like, usually when you come on the pod, you blow up. I mean, look at Pat Shea's career taken off since talking with us.
On the ice, off
Clearly,
the ice.
it had nothing to do with how amazing he already was on YouTube. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was
everything.
definitely all ECH there. But I'm going to...
Sofo, TikTok number.
Fair State gets their first crack at the season at this weekend. And but Mitz and the boys, they looked very...
Yeah, I'm going to take
They played
Lake
a solid
State.
game versus Tech. And Tech's still a good team there. And but they just outperformed.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Lake State at home again. We're going Ryan Mitz.
Yeah, you don't want to play Lake State on the road.
No,
tough building to play in. Fans are not. So fans are not. I think that's all the games.
Yeah, that's
we
all.
Touch them all. So obviously there's some more games during the week. We'll touch on those next pod because there's just too much to talk about. It's probably already running a beefy hour or so.
Yeah. But it's our first one, and it's okay. We got a lot to cover. And one team we did forget to mention here, Michigan State. Obviously, they got the series win, kind of, but they did play well.
Oh, yeah,
they gave up nothing versus Arizona State. Shout out to my boy Combs, got an assist this weekend. And
former Beef.
Yeah, I had to shout him out there.
People forget.
Definitely a good weekend from the Sparty Nation there, and
played defensively well.
They're
going to have
all in all
played
very well, and other than that, we had a little WCHA Atlantic, and then
there's been a
Hockey
sprinkle
Eastern
of
with
everything.
UMass. So, they I said, I really liked UMass this weekend. Minus they blew that lead, but they looked the third period. They just peppered Army the first night. Not Army.
We gotta wrap this up.
My brain's dead.
Yeah, UMass did look a lot better than I anticipated. You know, like they were flying from the start. Obviously, got a little sloppy on defense at the end. Gave away that lead, but they could have easily swept that series versus UConn, who's a tough team this year.
Yeah, but they did pepper on Friday night. I mean, that just shows their offensive power. You know, they've lost Leonard, which is a huge loss. The guy scored once, maybe twice a night every time. But
like Jake said, though, 4 lines deep, getting pucks deep. You know, big body, banging body, sticking to the system.
What'd you say?
Pucks in deep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So why don't you just shout out for the fans back home? So what is pucks deep, James? What do we got to do?
We got 18 here.
Yep.
And you're just going to see the puck right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, right here.
And then where's...
And just going right in this corner.
Yeah.
Just cross corner dumps too.
Mm-hmm.
Just all over here. And you're just pucks in deep.
Wait, and let's...
What else do we need to say?
I was going to say, if I'm another guy lining up, am I skating... I'm getting on the other end.
You got guys, you got all 5 going deep. All 5. Just the hardest ring around possible. All 5 going deep.
Okay.
That's pucks
Engage
in deep.
8 blitz for the NFL fans out there.
Yeah. I may not have... Carby probably has better artistic skills than I do. Yeah. He might draw it up a little clearer for the boys this weekend.
R.I.P.
I still take UMass in a sweep this weekend over BC. That's a big prediction.
I mean, honestly, you're a sucker if you are taking the Eagles at this point.
Well, I want to be a sucker. They got Newhook, who's going to be just a stud this weekend. They got to slow him down, plus that freshman class, a bunch of other people, too.
But, I mean, Gaudet has the ECH bless. I mean, like, literally, it's like he's playing with fairy dust around him. That's the kind of blessing.
I'm going to be watching that game closely this weekend. I'll tell you that. Yeah. I'll be watching that closely. So.
I mean, I got to count block shots. So, again, we're going to be very attentive to that game. We want to thank, again, Jake Gaudet coming on the pod here. Senior captain. Is that good?
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Yeah, been to the Frozen Four.
First guest. Yeah.
Absolute wagon. He's going to get in a fight. He said he wouldn't, but I think he's going to the box. We're excited to see that.
Can you imagine if he got a 5 this weekend?
I think it's going to happen. I mean, it's a rivalry.
It's not going to happen. Knock on wood. Good luck to both teams. Good luck to all the teams this weekend. Let's just get some games played. Let's just start with that. And
let's get pucks in deep.
Thank you guys for tuning in, though. This is first filmed episode.
Yeah. How'd we do?
Season 2. Yeah. Send your comments and the likes below on the YouTube video. Check us out on Instagram and everything. College Hockey and TikTok. Team ECH on Twitter. Hit us up. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe.
There you
Miles, play us out.
Woo! It's a wrap.
Come do that thing.
Hell yeah,
That was
boys.
beautiful. First one in the
First one done, boys. First one. Good work, boys. The Muzzy? The Muzzy?
Double.